Hughes, and I'm the media specialist for Cecilia Valley Elementary School. And today, to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday, we are actually having our first read-a-thon. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students are participating, and we're going to start out here in the cafeteria. We have some Seuss-inspired snacks for them, and then we're going to move over into our gym where they are going to bring their blanket or beach towel and their book, and they're going to read for an hour. And we'll have like little breaks in between where we have some prizes that will draw out their names, and students were actually supposed to get like a flat donation for that, and all of the proceeds from that will go to buy us some more library books for our library.
Scott, and I'm reading Brian's Winter because I've heard a lot of good things out of my classroom and people who like this book. This book will answer the question of Brian's winter survival. It is important to note, however, that it prevents knowledge as Vatral he had to know summer survival to attempt living in winter.
My name is Ava Hilton, and I'm reading Kylie Jean because I love princesses. My name is Kylie Jean Carter. I live in a big sunny yellow house on Peachtree Lane in Jacksonville, Texas with Mama, Daddy, and my 2 brothers, TJ and Ugly Brother.
My name is Chloe Sadler, and this book is Kylie Jean Drama Queen. And I picked this book because it interests me. I don't sleep one little itty bitty teeny tiny wink last night. No sir, going to sleep 2nd grade is too exciting. On Monday morning, I sit up in my bed and look around my room. I see my new pink backpack with hearts on it. Then I see my new pink sneakers with silver lace. After that, I see my pile of school supplies.
My name is Macy Gibson. I have the Maddie Diaries. I chose this book because I really like Dance Moms. I got to voice a character in this animated movie, which was a lot of fun. I had to go into a sound booth and watch the character on the screen and then get my choice to match her lips. It's called ADR, which stands for Automated Dialogue Replacement, in case you were wondering.
My name is Olivia Goodman, and I have the book Molly's Story. I got this book from the library, and I got it because I thought that it was a really good book, and I read the back, and I read a few pages of it when I got it, and I thought it was really good. The next day, CJ stood by the stove and made scrambled eggs, putting some in the bowl for me. Delicious. When we went out into the backyard, it was raining, so we didn't stay long. CJ petted me and praised me when I emptied my bladder and bowels into the grass, and I looked at her hands. Whatever made my girl happy made me happy. We played in the house that day, just her and me. "Come here, Molly," she called when we were back inside, and I followed her down the hallway.
I'm Jacob Thomas, and I'm reading I Survived the American Revolution. And I picked this book because in social studies, we are learning about the American Revolution, so I figured maybe this could help me learn some things about it. Tears burned Nate's eyes. "I didn't know," he said, barely choking out the words. Paul looked surprised at first, but his eyes drifted down to Nate's neck, which still hurt from Storch's strangling attack. Paul's face turned white. "Where did you get those bruises?" he said. Softly. Did he? Nate hadn't seen himself in a mirror, but from Paul's horrified expression, Nate realized he must look worse than he imagined.
My name's Zoe Mitchell. My book is Descendants 2. I picked this book because it's based off my favorite movie. Speaking of fish behind the magical barrier keeping
all the baddies on the Isle of the Lost. Evil was afoot in its greatest, fishest, dare I say, shrimpiest form.
My name's Elijah Tanner. I'm reading Restart. It seems like a good book. It's about a guy who falls off his roof and he loses his memory and he has to figure out his whole life over again. I remember falling, at least I think I do, or maybe that's just because I know I fell. The grass is far away until it isn't anymore. Somebody screams. Wait, it's me. I brace for impact, but it never comes. Instead, everything just stops. The sun goes out. The world around me disappears.
My name is Preston Myers, and this book is Wonder. I picked this book because the cover looks cool, and I have read this author's book before. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess, and I feel ordinary inside, but I don't know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get started at wherever they go.
My name is Colton Sewell, and I picked Woof because the cover looked cool, and I love dogs, and I've read a book by this author before. Two humans stood outside my cave, a white-haired woman and a gum-chewing kid. Gum chewing is one of the best sounds out there, and the smell's not bad either. I like the kid from the get-go.
My name is Connor, and I'm reading Ink Death. I got this book because I read about this author, and this author is really good at these kind of books. Some things that could help him bring Dustfingle back. Maggie saw the pretty mole face. He didn't believe Dustfingle would ever come back any more than she did. No sense, Ho said as his hand.
I'm Madison Crable, and my book is Captain Underpants and the Attack of the Talking Toilets. I picked this book because it's funny, and I've read a movie about it. It has a lot of character in it, and it has all the stories in it. Just then, George and Harold's prick pal, Mr. Krupp, showed up. Aha, he shouted. I'll bet you two are up to no good. Not really, said George. We're just reading about this year's contest. Yeah, said Harold. We're going to win first prize in the contest and be principals for the day.
My name is Brooklyn Aubrey, and the book I'm reading is Dork Diaries, Tales from the Not So Popular Party Girl. And the reason I chose this book is because I think it's really interesting, and I like dork diary books because I don't think anybody's a dork. We both laughed really hard at my silly little joke. It was kind of strange, but talking to Brandon not only gave me a whole new perspective on things, it made me feel a lot better.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Gray, and the book that I'm reading is Keys to the City. And the reason why I picked this book is because I was looking for something new at the book fair, and I saw this. I was like, Mom, I want this. It's something new. And so I picked it. I growled at him. He is not. I don't want a boyfriend, trembled Beth, so be quiet.
My name is Lamaya Lewis, and the book I'm reading is called Daisy Dreamer, and I picked this book because it says Daisy, and that's my favorite flower. Now, how can that be, I wonder? Then I feel a tape on my shoulder. Well, I feel a tap on my shoulder. Are you looking for me? Someone asked. I turned around, and my eyes grew wide. I cried, and I cupped my hand over my mouth. My drawing is standing in front of me.
My name's Emma Anderson, and I'm reading A Good Night for Ghosts.
I picked this book because it looked interesting and I really wanted to read it. Legends has it that Mary's ghost appears at either a crow or a big black dog.
My name is Brianna, and I picked Dr. Seuss Hooray for Diffendor Day because it is challenging. I've always lived in Dinkerville. My friends all live here too. We go to Diffendor School. We're happy that we do.
My name is Christiana, and I picked this book because it looked like an interesting book, and I just saw the mermaid on the front of it, so I decided to pick it up because I really love mermaids and mythical creatures and everything. It's called The Search for Delicious, I think. If you'll all just form into a long line, we'll get on with the listening. And he took the large notebook and his pen and ink out of the saddle bag. The people began happily jostling one another into a sort of line. Since there were nearly 200 present, counting the children, there was a great deal of confusion.
My name is Kylie Overly, and I picked the book Augie and Me. I picked it because I read Wonder, and I wanted to find out what the three kids' point of views were of what happened there. No, not exactly. I can't say they were bullies, Grimmer. I mean, it wasn't like that. He just didn't get along. That's all. We hated each other. It's kind of a hard thing to explain. You kind of had to be there. Here, let me show you what he looked like. Then maybe you'll understand a little better.
Hello, my name is Sabrina Aldridge, and I have the book called Playground Bully, and why it inspired me to read it is because I love dogs, and it tells me about nature and how they play. Just to make me feel even worse, he repeated, "No." Finally, Fred let go of my nose. "Now, be quiet. Recess is almost over. Then you and I are going to practice walking on a leash."
My name is Naomi Lahan, and the book I'm reading is The Cats of Roxville Station, and I picked this book because I love cats. A lady in a fur coat threw a fighting, hissing cat off a bridge, got back into her car, and sped into the night. Ratchet the cat splashed into the river. She felt the wetness and, hating it, reached out to paw this enemy. Her paws struck a stick, raked it for a better hold, and she went swimming.
My name is Miley, and I picked Magic Animal Friends, and I really like animals. The Midnight Market. In the middle of a platform there were tables landed with fruits, hearts, strawberries, toffees, hats, mossy headbands, and a necklace made from nuts and seeds. And the market discovered with vines covered in berries that hung edges of the tables around the tree branches.
My name is Andrew. I am reading the book Humphrey, and I chose the book Humphrey because it's a shorter chapter book and it can be very interesting. "Settle down, class," Miss Fishbane said. "Please take your seats." Class, what was she talking about? This wasn't my class. Where are AJ and Garth?
My name is Dylan. I am reading Harry Potter. One of the reasons I'm reading this book is because I've read all the other books. I'm rereading this book right now. I've already read it, but I enjoyed it a lot. It's really interesting. On every side, broomsticks were leaping into hands. Hermione had already been helped up into a great big black trestle by Kingsley, Fleur on the other by Bill,
Hagrid was standing ready beside the motorbike, goggles on.
My name is Carly Gammon, and my book is The Maddie Diaries by Maddie Ziegler, and I picked that book because it tells about her life, and it's just really fun. I've always been really comfortable around grown-ups, and they're comfortable around me because I don't think or act like I'm a kid. If I was quiet when I was little, it's most likely because I was thinking, not because I was shy or afraid.
My name is Raylan Brackens, and I am reading Mango Delight. And I picked this book because because when I read the back, it kind of represented my life, so that's why I chose it. It was an average school day. I arrived at my girl Brooklyn Manelli's house, rang the doorbell, and spent the usual 5 minutes waiting for her to finish chasing perfection, and came outside so we could walk to school together.
I'm Gracie Evans, and I picked Dr. Carvel is losing his marbles, and I picked it because it's very funny. It was Dr. Carvel's, the president of the Board of Education. I always thought Mr. Klutz was important, like he was the king of the school. But if Mr. Klutz is like the king of the school, then Dr. Carvel is like the king of the world. He probably sits on the throne and has severance fans with big feathers. I saw that in a movie once. Klutz hollered, "What's the meaning of this?"
My name is William Brown, and I'm reading I Survived the Joplin Tornado because I've been through a tornado in my life, and I thought it represented my life, so I picked this book. Luckily, they'd had enough time to pull the car over and sprint into the basement of a restaurant. Their car had been sucked away. They still hadn't been able to find it. None of them wanted to think about what would have happened if anyone had been in the house when the tornado hit.
My name is Bailey Moore, and I'm reading There's a Map on My Lap. And I chose this because it's Dr. Seuss Week. You will have great adventures your whole life, and so I give you these maps, all the places you'll go.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Coppendale, and my book is called One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. And I like this book because it's so interesting and it has so many rhymes, and I never knew how many fish there are and a lot of things. Black fish, blue fish, goldfish, old fish, new fish. This one has a little star. This one has a little car. Say, what a lot of fish there are.
I'm Sahara Batten, and I picked Magic Treehouse. I kind of like adventure. Annie peeked into Jack's room. "Ready?" she whimpered. "Yep," said Jack. Even though it was 2 hours before school started, Jack and Annie were already dressed. Jack put his notebook and his pencil back into his backpack. Then he picked up the bag and his sneakers and followed Annie into the hall.
I'm Elizabeth, and I chose Troyus and the Enchanted Crystal Bee, and I chose it because my friend Annie let me borrow it for the read-a-thon. As fun as this has been, we have some important business to tend to. We're out of here. What can I do to raise? Help us, Dan. We need you.
My name is Justin Axbanker, and the book I'm reading is I Survived the Attacks of September 11, 2001, and I picked it because I'm interested in times like this, things that happen. There has to be at least 10 floors of fire. 10 floors of fire. Dad had told Reese that every floor
floor of the 10 Twin Towers was about the size of a football field. Lucas tried to imagine what 10 football fields would look like, each one on fire. How many firefighters would it take to put those fires out? And what if each of those fires was almost a quarter mile in the air? That's how high the towers were.
My name is Cameron, and I'm going to tell you how I picked this book out. Number one, I like cats. They're super fuzzy, and that's why I got this book, and it's called World's Cutest Cats and Kittens. And allows them to walk comfortably along a narrow fence or climb along a swinging tree branch. Their tail acts like a sabers to the top, then from wobbling, and they have special sections inside their ears to keep them upright. Cats are famous for landing on the feet if they fall. Their ears help them tell which way up they need to be. A super bendy spine twists so their feet are the first thing to hit the ground.
I am Dylan Petraska. I am reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the long haul, because it's basically like 4 paragraphs on one page, and there's a lot of pictures, and there's 200 pages, so it's really educational for your reading skills. When Maddie tried to run away a third time today, Mom bought a retractable leash at the front desk to try to keep him under control. Mom also got a bandage for Roderick's foot so we could start going into restaurants as a family again. Finally, the veterinarian was ready to see me, and the nurse led us to the exam room. My palms started getting sweaty because I always get a little nervous when it's time to see the doctor.
My name is Gabriel Baker. I'm reading Dogman and Cat Kid. I'm reading Dogman and Cat Kid because it's a funny book to read. And finally, it's comic superstar Scooter McRibs. Hey, dummies, I'll be playing PD the cat. That guy doesn't look anything like me. I mean like Petey. And now let's into the studio and go behind the scenes.
Hi, my name is Barbara Van Hooser, and I picked the first Dog Man book because it's a really good book. It has a lot of funny things in it. Petey zapped all the books in the city. Zap. Hey, all our books are blank. Ha ha ha. Then he zapped all the books in the country. Ours too. Ours 3. Then Petey got in an airplane and zapped all the books in the whole world.
My name is Devin Petraska, and I chose this book because it is about a dog named Hero, and he's really cool. Scout, Ben said. Want to pet him? Jack nodded and ran a hand over Scout's soft coat. Scout sniffed at Jack's hand. The puppy jumped up, and while Ben held him around the belly, put his front paws on Jack's chest. Wagging his tail, Scout reached his nose forward and licked the salty tears from Jack's cheeks. "You sweet," Jack said with a strangled laugh. "Yeah, thanks," Ben said.
My name's Jordan Linton, and I'm reading Minecraft. The reason why I picked this book is because I love Minecraft and I love playing Minecraft a lot. Guardian, health points 30, attack strength 4 to 9, will shoot laser beam at you and extend their body spikes towards you, inflicting a small amount of damage underwater and ocean monuments. Weapons, raw fish, prismarine crystals, and prismarine shards.
My name is Katie Reed, and this is Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Dog Days. And my friend gave it to me to read,
because I left my library books upstairs. But I guess now that the real little cutie is all grown up, his dad's having trouble coming up with new manners.
Hi, I'm Kelsey, and my book is Ugly. I chose this because it's a real life story of a guy who was born different, and he went through his life and people making fun of him and stuff. And I just want to see how that was, because that must have hurt a lot. I guess you could call this the story of my story. This is Robert's big, exciting life of ugliness. Story starts just a couple pages beyond this, but I wanted to write an introduction for this special edition of Ugly to tell you some of the reasons why I wrote the book. If you'd rather skip ahead and read about my actual life first, that's fine. This will be where you finish, I'll wait.
My name is Ava Baggett, and I picked this book called Bone. It's a really good book because it's just interesting, and I started reading it a long time ago, and it's fictional. Could we have everyone behind the ropes, please? We're about to start the cow race. Okay, everybody's here. This is it, folks, on my signal.
Hi, I'm Avery Smith, and I picked Restart. And I picked this book because it's a sad story, but it's very interesting, and I love sad stories. I try to make out who's there, but the light is killing me. I thrash around, blinking wildly. Everything hurts, especially my neck and left shoulder. Blurry images come into focus. People standing and sitting in chairs. I'm lying down, a sheet over me, white, which makes me brightness even worse. I raise my hands to cover my face, and suddenly I'm tangled in wires and tumbling. A clip on my finger is tethered to a beeping machine next to my bed, and an IV bag hangs from a pole above it.